Hello and welcome. Right, back on Risoux Forest. Yeah, I was here this morning and I thought we've got to crack on. We have. And I was sort of thinking, as just a few minutes ago, the irony of the situation. We've been waiting all of these years, and in our very last year, we finally get a harvester that actually sort of does this. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed. Right, we have no fertiliser to do at all. It's quite amazing, but we need all of our front boxes and all of that type of stuff. And we don't really totally need power for this. Not really, not for the little ones. I'm even going to use the little fence for the 3-metre ones. So yeah, these would last forever. Vegetables are just so tiny amount of seeds, aren't they? Really unbelievable. So if we need any front boxes, we will get some front boxes. I have, got a bit of a quandary, which I've actually, 99%, so it's got a little bit in the back as well. So doesn't really matter which one we do where. Are we going to just set a standard worker going to begin with? I think so. Are we in A4? We are, yeah. And we've got to literally go against the... Right, so we want the little fence. John Deere, even. Fence? That was a Freudian slip. I'll tell you why. No. Yeah, the actual boxes I'm thinking about. But I'd sort of figured this out a while back. Modding, there's a lot of Giants make it very granular, and that's not really the right word. It follows a proper sequence. There's a real lot of very admirable things about the way that Giants have actually done what they have done with modding. It's quite amazing, it really is. And things follow another thing, and it's quite logical. But obviously there is a logic to it as well, in so much as you don't know that logic to begin with. But you sort of get a bit of a gist for it. And I'm sure I can get my. What I did was I put a picture of the front box, quite a nice picture on the front box, these very front boxes, so that when you do, when you do that, you open like that, it's got a picture on it, but obviously the picture stayed over the box. It was sort of translucent because diffusers tend to be the picture. So yeah, we're talking English, not mod speak, right? So we want red beets will do nicely. Beets, and we want, who else have we got? It's very nice to see that it is. Yeah, well, really now it's just a process of elimination. The next, really is the other John Deere. And the Axion as well. Yeah, these ones I think. Let's let this go as well. We don't need that this year. It's quite amazing. We're in our final year. We've got the front box on that one with the spuds in. Yeah, so even though they don't help the spuds to have them as they are, it's still useful to actually have them anyway. That's the last 3-metre one is here. We'll grab the front box off the... Yeah, I've been busy. I was promised I wanted to do a Fent GTA and Xylon pack, and I haven't forgotten the Xylon either, because it always seems to be that the Fent GTA gets all the love. I would actually like to make a GTA and a Xylon myself, but I mean, I'm talking about it's very difficult to make. I certainly have not got that level of ability to actually make a tractor from scratch. It's a very large commitment. I'd say it's probably equal, really, to making a map. So, I mean, you could do simpler models, I suppose. I mean, a lot of it's done from the XML, but a lot of it isn't as well. So it really is not an easy thing to do. So, and not just that, I was actually going to do my large trailer a few minutes ago, and I thought, I've got to be honest, I don't think you're up to it yet. I thought, let's be honest about this. You've come a long way. You're doing some quite amazing things. Stick to the little things for a bit. Don't just make a plants I'm in the front box. I'm going to say I didn't realise you could put plants. You can can plant spinach with these. I never realised you could do that. Oh, do you know, sometimes I go around in a world of my own. Yeah, so carrots on this one. And then we will assist everybody. We're going to grab the 9 metre Prelatus. Yeah, my pride and joy. We have got the 6 metre one too, which I don't know what happened. For some reason, I deleted the 6 metre. I never meant to. I don't know what on earth, what I actually did. Just want, ooh, we want seeds, don't we? So if we go to seeds for the back, then it should stick to seeds on the front. Yeah, so I broke the brilliant. Broke the diffuse. That sorry, I keep doing it. I'm talking. It's weird when it's like doctor speaking, and all that type of thing. Yeah, it's right. So we've got this one, that one. We've done the potatoes at the bottom, and there's the point with the 3 vegetables. What are we going to do the last field with? We've got a big load of potatoes down the bottom. We've got carrots, we've got parsnips, and we have got red beets. So what is the last field what we're going to do? Is what I'm thinking. That is very interesting. It is. Right, so let's grab... who do I fancy to go... Yeah, we've not had... Yes, I'm spoiled for choice now, to be honest. I sort of was on about, yeah, this one. I like this one a lot. I don't get much chance to use this type of tractor, basically. So, yeah, very, very rarely get the tracked version. We were very fortunate to get this. I mean, we have spent an awful lot of cash on tractors, I've got to be honest. This is probably one of the most tractor-rich Let's Plays I've ever done. But we have been here for 8 years, so it's not really surprising. But yeah, so I've done a Xylon pack that's almost finished. I'm just working on an animation for the move support, as it's called. It's my first animation that I'm sort of like trying to get to grips with. Now, you're not doing the animation yourself. I'm not yet. You are using the existing animations. That's what everybody does. It's not like you're not creating them from scratch or anything wonderful and fantastic like that. You're actually using existing animations that do similar things from different mods, and you have to check get your measurements right if you're going to put it in real life terms. Right, so then let's lease. We did look in this, we did with 24 metre. So we're going to lease the Prelatus, which is my own creation, although it obviously, yeah, yeah, this is the one that I destroyed, but luckily I had saved the original Coon version, which has still got the Coon stickers on, so I've need to do a bit of work on it, but it is still the forerunner of the one that I actually did before, only I did it a little larger. So yeah, this is the Prelatus. I did 2 models because I wanted a roller on it. Now I could not... are there 2 models? I think one's got a white... No, I think I removed them both. Yeah, well, that's the original, which you can see has just got a C-box. But I wanted to move away from that actual model, so I actually did model myself, and like that's what I did. So I'm going to stick to the model that is the... yeah, we do want to lease it, yes. Because it just seems daft to buy it when we've already got quite a bit of like stuff like this. But yeah, this is... Obviously, it's still, I mean, it is still what it is. There's no one's trying to hide the fact that it is still very much started off its life as the Cavernland, but what I wanted to do was actually remodel it so that it really is my own invention, and I've like, everything still works as it should do. The other thing is, I sort of often said this, I'm going to do what Omatana did. I'm going to use my brain a bit. That expansion tank, I don't have to make it open. It's an expansion tank, but you can see I am covering myself. There is a blue pipe that leads from that would actually pump the fertilizer and lime. It also sits on top of the other pipes that actually connect those bottom boxes. So I have thought about it, but I don't need to make it difficult for myself. And I'm going to do that frequently. You know, like there's no need sometimes you to jump through massive hoops to make something work, and I'm gonna go with that. Omatana did that to begin with. It's weird. I was It was Mantrid, actually, the Mantrid that we all know and love. It was the very first time he was modding, and he was like talking about that. Now I know what Mantrid's on about, and it's not just about being on console. I didn't realise Mantrid was on console. But yeah, he was one of his first mods that he did, and he was sort of talking about the lack of support that he was getting from. But he wasn't trying to slag Giants off either. I'm not saying that, but he was, and I've found this myself. There's not very much help in a way. Right, so yeah, seeds and fertilizer. Oh, we don't need fertilizer. We don't actually. It won't do it. Yeah, I don't think. Well, I don't think it will anyway. So we'll help. Well, actually, we need to do it. Yeah, we need to decide what we're actually doing. Now, all the equal fields. It seems silly, really, to actually do anything more than that. We've got the massive one of potatoes. What does our little harvester do? Or are we going to put pressure? No. Let's do something for the normal harvest. What about corn? We could do... I think... Yeah, I'm sure corn can be done in April still. I'm sure it can. I don't do corn very often. That's why I'm thinking, yes, you can. It's this very month it actually starts. Right. So we're going to keep it on corn. We're going to do the big field. I'm going to go into a time lapse, and then we're going to assist all of these little 3 meters that are valiantly doing a field each. Yeah, this is one of those things. It is a no-till. Not that we need it to be a no-till, because we've already ploughed and like de-stoned and all that type of thing. So yeah, we really don't need it to be. But this is one of those seeder stroke planters. It is a planter that I've always thought could be more done with it. So I've got, you can see it, there's a cultivator section we've stuck under there. Now I don't need to do that, I just can do it on the XML. I can tell it just to yeah, I can tell it to just to no-till, and you wouldn't need it. But I thought, I want to do this properly. If I'm going to do this type of thing, then I'm going to do it properly. So I have. But it's a no-till, because I've always thought it's always one of those planters that I think, oh no, because I very rarely cultivate, and I thought, no, I've got to like cultivate before it, or I can't just no-till, and I'll always go for a no-till over this thing. But I've always admired the way it folds, and that it has an attacher that is actually attached. There's not a part that you lose in your shed, or like many of the others, Holes did one, other people have done one. Not a massive fan of anything like that where you can put it down, because you can lose it, and I especially know myself can easily lose such things. So yeah, the fact that it stays on this and folds, it was a win-win to me, and I always very much admired it. And obviously we've increased the capacity, we've got a second tank as well that's increased the capacity legitimately. So yeah, we've no-tilled it, and we've also made it into a planter of almost everything. Yeah, seeder stroke planter. So yeah, I don't think I've actually put this in. No, I haven't. I'm not sure what Giants will like say. I mean, you can see I've modelled it myself, but I mean, I've not gone to like... It is a bit weird. This is what Mantrid was saying. I've not forgotten about Mantrid. He was talking about sometimes you've got to challenge Giants, and I don't mean that in a nasty way, but basically he'd done a lot of work on one of the mods he'd done, and someone else had done very little of the same thing, and Giants' first response was, oh, we've already got a model like that, we don't want to keep having multiple models of the same thing. But then there's someone else piped up, well, Giants often do that, so just if you feel that you've been like wronged, just like call them out. Farmer Girl, likewise, so she was in the forums and she said the same. Sometimes she did something and actually to the edge of the field. She did something and she was on her third and final chance to fix it, and basically Giants did take mercy on her. Yeah, she basically told them the truth that I'm on console and I can't work out, I can't do the shaders. I'm not on PC. I can't like do this. So Giants basically helped her, and she got that mod sort of passed. And likewise, Mantrid similarly. And I've done the same with my seeder stroke planter, because Giants basically said, well, this seeder stroke planter's just the same as ours. Oh, wow. Okay, reverse because we're sit up where it's because we're going downhill, isn't it? We need a weight. I'm surprised this is a heavy, very, very heavy. Wow. Well, it is, yeah, it's true. I often forget my weights. How many times do I forget my weights? And it's a field where we really could have done with one. I have made some weights actually. I've made a very, very heavy weight for use with my stone pickers. That's probably my next big quest, and it is quite a big one. I could do it. I could do individual like telehandler, stroke, wheel load, and front load, and just do them all separate. I wanted to do a pack like the maker of the Altec has done. So that was my. But it's a lot harder to do it that way. So I'm not sure whether to begin with I just do it the quickest way, because I'd really like to get that in for testing. Yeah, it was weird. I went on the mod hub earlier to look at like if I'd got any news about the 6 mods that I've got in for testing, and I noticed on every single one of mine it says like fix the other errors, and I'm like, what errors? So I literally spoke to the mod hub team, as in like I left them, and you can't speak to them, there's nobody there. I mean, they're like, yeah, I left a message which they will see to say, well, hang on a minute, like I got, the only errors I got was on the seeder, because I tried to convert something that you can't really convert, or that at my level of ability I couldn't convert, and that's the only thing that had got errors, and they're errors that they've got to be there. You see, the game knows that the seeder started off as a fertilizer spreader. It knows that. No matter how hard you try, although you're telling the game it's a seeder, that's its specialization, it still knows it started off as a fertilizer spreader. So it keeps on asking for fertilizer spreader bits, basically. Right, anyway, yeah, I'm going on a bit too much onto the mod, and I apologise. Right, anyway, time-lapse time. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. I would call that not a bad. Yeah, we sort of like managed to do that fairly well. Finished within a minute of each other. That is quite. Yeah, I was determined I was going to leave a bit of work, as in like try and do it as best I could. But that worked out almost perfectly. So fantastic. Yeah, that was a dream work. It really was. Look how little I do love vegetables. This really are probably one of my favourite things. And also, I am going to make a dessert factory, but a dessert factory with vegetables in it. And I know that sounds a little bit odd, but I actually did some research before I did this, because I thought I'd like to use vegetables a little bit more, but I thought, well, is there anything? But I'm not just like, I've included all of the new vegetables and the older vegetables too. So beetroot, sugar beet, well actually sugar beet has got a place too. Yeah, it's going to be like a sort of a bakery, but a dessert factory, a special bakery. So it's got to be expensive, because all of the inputs are going to be dear. It's going to need eggs, it's going to need it's almost like a cake. But it's going to be like we're using vegetables as well, which means it's got to be a bit like cakes, where it's a really expensive thing that you're going to get a lot back because you're putting a lot in. So it's not like and they're all obviously things I've got to make every single one from scratch. So it's like not normal. Yeah. Right, fantastic. Excellent, 98%. Wow. I mean, what is there not to love? I mean, the seeds on these are just absolutely phenomenal, really. And we don't even need to roll. It's win-win. It really is, actually. It's quite impressive. I thought, I'm sure you don't need to roll on vegetables, because I jumped out earlier and it said needs rolling, and I thought you didn't need to. But I was jumping out onto a patch that hadn't actually been seeded. So obviously when I jumped out, we need to get some fuel. I knew I was going to do that. Slow reactions. Yes. Well, we beat the rain. That's all that matters to me. And yeah, obviously the next thing really is to go through the months and like just literally. We just need us a bit of quite a lot of diesel actually. Oh, I didn't realise they opened. Oh wow, amazing. Beautiful little kit. Yeah, it is. So that is it. Yeah, we'll leave it on that particular thing. We'll go through go through the months, because we've literally done all of our fields. So yeah, we're going to do that for I can't think of the word. Mineral feed. That's the one. Mineral feed. The corn one, which I've specially made for this one. I think I'm finished with the self-sufficiency. I mean, as in, like, I think I've added everything I need to add. I've got my pig food, 2 recipes. I've not done a cheaty one. I've done like it is 3,000 for 3,000. And so is that one, and it's using almost all of the things that you would. There was one in the mod hub where it was a bit cheaty, where there's a tiny bit of, and I thought, oh come on, that's a little bit too much. But again, it's obviously everyone to their own. But I thought I want it to be. That's what I'm aiming for with all of the mods. I want realism. I want it to be. I mean, I think I want it to be generous but believable, and I want it to be meaningful. It's a little bit like if Giants made silage additive into something you could sell. You'd be a millionaire overnight. You could just sell a few thousand litres and you'd literally be a millionaire. That's why you can't sell it, because it would soon get boring, because you just make silage additive, a bit like I used to do fertilizer, because it was one of the most things. But I've sort of like I mean, also I was limited in the amount of mods that I could sort of do, whereas there's quite a bit of scale now that I'm modding, and there's also other modders that release some imaginative things which are believable yet imaginative, and that you can make money with as well. I have found in FS25 there are a few mods that were brilliant, and there was a tree mod, a plant mod, and it cost you too much to actually get the inputs, and it was you were losing money selling this thing which cost you quite a lot to do. And I thought, No, it's the basic premise has got to be that you're gonna make money from this, even if some things are better than others. You've got to make it worth your while for doing it. There's no point in like the cereal factory that Giants did. It just holds your money together. Each one of those inputs is really good on their own, and when you add those inputs up and what you're getting back for the cereal, to be honest, you're just about breaking even. You may even lose a little bit of money. I literally did the maths, and there literally is a thing on YouTube with me going through this bit by bit to sort of show just it is awful. It is. And if Giants can do it, so others modders did it too. But there were a lot of modders that really did get it well, and I did love the fact that Omatana Farmer Jeb, I think, was the one who started it. He did the one where you got pig food. And I thought, well, it's true. If you old pig food, pig swill, bits of remnants of food that you could feed your pigs with, that people have done that for thousands of years, it is just off-scouring of food. So I thought it's quite believable. Omatana did it. A few other modders have done it, and I've got to be honest, I've also followed suit, because if there's an edible thing like the oil where you've thrown away the tops or something like that, then it's edible. You could throw it to the pigs and it would be pig food. And now we know, obviously, some things in the game are a little bit cheeky and you're going to get paid well, whereas really the tops of vegetables, I'm not sure you'd really get paid terribly well, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. So that is where I'm going to leave this particular session. Yes, so Mantrid was very close to giving up modding right back at the beginning through how difficult Giants made it for him at the beginning, but he persevered, and yeah, the rest is history. Mantrid is a cracking modder. Yeah, they did a lot of FS22 mods, and I think he's done some for FS25, but again, the modders may have done an awful lot. It's still slowly coming out of the mod hub, so as I know myself from the 6 that I've got in testing personally. So yeah, and I've got loads I need to finish off. Some that I'm working on. I'll show you a few little bits and bobs. Yeah, the sea tanks. These, I'm really pleased with these. So I have got the standard, which I have adjusted. Oh no, I haven't actually. No. I am going to though. But yeah, this is still just the front box, and it is for a standard tractor, so therefore it can't have anything posh or bigger or anything like that. However, the GTA and the Xylon, now they can have extensions because they have a thing that can sit on. You can get to the 3-point. I've made it quite thin. I've literally multiple times grabbed the Fendt GTA and the Fendt Xylon and put them on this to check if they clip their wheels against the metal. They're made slightly. If I made it much thinner, it wouldn't be worth doing it. But if there's any clipping, it's so minute that it's hardly. Now that is 6,777 litres. It is at least 3 times the size of the original front box when you consider that's also deep too. So yeah, and I do love that. And I have finally figured out how to hide the decal on the top so that when you fold it away, it does disappear. But I'm trying to have a bit of fun with it as well, so I'm quite pleased with that. So I've also got a back box. That one is for the GTA, so that only has a front section. The Xylon's a bit special though. Now this is, I thought, I'm going to really go to town and really make this my, and it does open and you can't see the silver is encased and it doesn't do anything bad to you still can get to the 3-point. You'd have to lower it on sort of. That one's probably the worst because the Xylon's the tightest. It's a little bit smaller, so therefore it's only 4,777 litres. I've got to put collisions on again. It works in progress. It's not quite finished, but these are a little bit rough at the present. And then we have the Xylon back box, which again says back box on it. I've got this the wrong way around. I need to turn. Yes, it is the same as the front box. It is. It's the same picture of that. I don't know that I've done all of the swizzling. No, I think I did before I came in the session. I think I just did that and I thought enough. There's only so much you can do. The other thing I did was something else. I started to do this a while back. I made our own version. It's only plastic and metal on wheels, so it's really not expensive to make. So I have no idea why we get charged such a lot. But then again, Hardy, I suppose I've got to make a bit of cash. But ours is an awful lot cheaper. And it's obviously, it's a bit bigger. And this wheel, again, 3-point link is visible. So you can, I'm trying to put a support on this one. And you can in places see the original plastic. I'm not trying to hide the fact that it's encasing the plastic with a bigger, it's got a bit of plastic. I'm going to do a little bit, I don't know, it's equal. It's, yeah, I'm not trying to like, you see, I didn't want to destroy all of the original parts. So I've not quite got my field plane, not, oh, nearly though, not terrible. So again, it is slightly, quite a lot bigger actually than the original, because it is actually quite a bit bigger. It's a bigger tank as well. It's much wider. I've still got the headlights on it, and it's, I think I've got all my decals right. It was a little uneven. I think that's not bad. And then there is I think that's the original, which is just as, oh, it's not actually. What's that? Yeah, that's, hang on a minute, is that? Oh, it is the Xylon. I'm going to say that this should be. So this is 2777, because it is only a bigger front tank, quite a lot wider, almost twice as big. So I've not gone mad on that one. Everything still opens. So the Xylon is really, I did think I'd not done any additional bits. So that, again, fits nicely on the Xylon. Goes right up to the window. I mean, I've literally tweaked this until it's almost perfect, because I was going in the window and all that type of thing with the Xylon. And this is the Xylon backloaded tank. And it actually, yeah, one thing that I've always wanted is where it says back and front on it, because if you've got two similar things like this, I know you're going to say, well, why would you want a front and a back? This is true. Yeah, I have a long-term goal to put an implement on the back, an actual spray unit that actually does that on it. So then it would become quite a serious, formidable sprayer, as big as some of the biggies. So yeah, that's something I'd like to do in time. But again, for the time being, you can stick either on the back or the front, and if you don't on the back, you go for the front. And then we've got the GTA tank, which is a really monster, because the GTA's got an awful lot of space. It's got a massive tank at the back. Sits just, yeah, because it really is on a platform, so it just sits nicely on the platform. It still can get to the 3-point attacher at the front, and all of the pipes and everything are there. The lights are still there, and yeah, BI Industries have like souped it up. Again, I mean, the only bits that you could possibly tell that this was the Hardy is the bits of white and the wheels. Again, at the minute it's too low, so you actually go through the metal, so you couldn't really do it. Now I am going to put the supports, which I have begun to work on, which I think it should say anim, with anim. Oh, it's worked. Fantastic. It has actually got the leg support at the back. Fantastic. I might have to lower them so it pushes it up a little. It should have one at the front, but it's hidden inside the body, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got two of those. I might have to make another smaller version. I thought I had already done it, so you should see one at the front as well. At least I've got it right, because it's part of the attacher system. I think it's those little red blobby bits. No, it's not. It's not showing them. Oh no, hang on a minute. Yeah, no, I think they are. Oh yeah, they drop down. They're sort of hidden up. Yeah, no, I think they are there. So again, I've got to test this one, like literally to see if it moves, because I did it just before I came in. I thought, I'm gonna have a go at this animation. Let's get the support on, the frame support, and yeah, then we'll go from there. Yeah, basically it's probably something like this, but I didn't want to nick Giants, you know, like the actual FarmCon proper things, because the Rough's completely different. I just want a similar type of frame type thing to that, but I might have a look at that as well, because I'm obviously learning and trying to do this all right. But yeah, I'm really quite pleased with that. That will make the fence a truly formidable force. And obviously they are special boxes. They're only for like fertilizer, lye. I was toying with the idea of, I say that, but the liquid tanks, now they're not. Yeah, I did this on purpose. If you look at what they can contain, it's all of the liquids. So that actually makes these quite considerable, because you could have this on a little farm as your actual main tanker. Yeah, I mean that's sort of normal. But this, the GTA is a monster, because it is a monstrous tank. So, to be honest, it's slightly bigger than the Abbey, so quite phenomenal, really. Yeah, so I'm waiting to get this all sorted. I thought I'd forgotten silage additive, but I haven't. I have put it in. I was looking at another mod and I thought, oh, you've not put silage additive in. But then I went in earlier and I thought, oh, you have done silage additive. So yeah, most of I think I've not forgotten anything, but there's always something that you think, oh, I've not quite done that. Yeah, so that is it, really. We have finished, I think, and that's what I thought. I was going to do like lots of mini things, modding reviews type things. I thought, I'll just bring them into the Let's Plays. It really, like, it's just nice little, hopefully nice little surprises, and it doesn't bash everyone's eardrums like for ages and ages about things, specific things. Because although I might continue to do it, because obviously I take you onto the mod map where I make things and they've got things strewn around. I think it's sort of quite interesting. It's like a modder's workshop. I personally find it quite interesting. Ooh, something else I'm working on too. Yeah, I've been working on liquid tankers for ages. I sort of originally worked on the Abbey, and I literally did a blender export. So that would be the large. Yeah, then all the prices aren't right. Yeah, the large general tanker. Which one is that? You know, that is my own. But actually that's the medium liquid tanker. Yeah, it is large, but yeah, it says medium general tanker there, but it says large on the tin. This is the large general tanker. This is my broken one. Yeah, there is. That one's one so again, I need to do a bit of tidying up. This is the large general tanker 2, and this is the one I cannot get to work. It's only a model at the minute. I mean, but it's got everything there. You can see the electrics, it's got the attacher, it's got the wheels in the right place. It just won't attach. And I've compared it. I've even got some lights on it, which is quite surprising for me. But it says the base model. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go into the bit. Obviously, the amount's completely wrong, but I can't get that one to work. So I thought, just use your own model. So, I've seemed to have broken my own model. I should have another one, actually. So I must have broken it as I came in. It is very much like that one, but that's the medium one. Yeah, it's the one that I've done has got nice stickers on the side. And it's definitely not any of these. So it appears I've broken it as I've come in. So I shall, last job I would do is just do that before I start doing this recording. So yeah, apart from that, it's actually got the same stickers on as the let me just show you. Yeah, I really do quite like these, the ones on the sprayers. It's got the liquids. I think they're quite beautiful, actually. Yeah, the liquids one there really is, I think it's gorgeous. I really do. Yeah, it's courtesy of liquids. Oh, it's spelt wrong. It's got 2 eyes. Oh, do you know, seriously, it put a B. That D is my own work, because it spelt it liquibs, but I can now see that it's actually it's got double I. They are absolutely terrible at spelling, so I will have to fix this, because it's obviously not quite right. That escaped my notice before, but we can't have it spelled wrong, can we? Giants will have a dicky fit. It's one of those things that you fail instantly if your case is wrong on your writing and all that type of stuff. So we will sort it out. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.